Good morning, Monday morning, Garden of England. It's a beautiful morning right now, but apparently we might get up to 35 degrees later on. So I've got Stella out early, get her a walk, and but she won't get back out until maybe this evening, fairly late on. Too hot for a wee dog with a fur coat, that's for certain. Need to get the fans out, get them on for her. Anyway, so Saturday, as you probably know, is I was presenting Next Level Mind Store in Canterbury. It's just fantastic. I got to meet some really amazing people who live in Canterbury, and also people who came from further afield. Eileen and her family, and we'll talk about that in a moment, and the dog's barking, it might be important to hear it. Eileen and her family came over from Dublin. A couple came down from Dundee. Young guy came from Glasgow. People came from Buckinghamshire, from Hampshire. A real nice mix. And what was interesting for me, there was at least 3 psychologists had come, and 1 psychiatrist. And so that was quite interesting to be able to share my stuff with them. And people of various faiths. And it was just fantastic. But what was wonderful was having people who had first done the course 24 years ago and so on, coming out and sharing their stories. Some of the stories I heard were just, well, you can imagine, they're just unbelievable. And because I had to rush through the material as I do, I tend to get so much in for those who are participating. They didn't get the chance to really, I suppose, get to talk to one another. The newbies talking to the repeaters. They would have learned so much from the repeaters. I need to figure out how to do that better, because the successes were just fantastic. And by the way, those of you who are on the COVID page and the Extreme Mindfulness page, and who had been working in Eileen a few weeks ago, maybe a few months back, you may remember if you look back, what a transformation. And that wonderful lady, she's lost buckets of weight since she attended Glasgow last year, and maybe took on the tease about lettuce. In Canterbury, I was teasing them about Coca-Cola, and the lovely man took the bait, which gave me a chance to explain. And she's lost serious weight. She could hardly walk half a kilometre in Glasgow last year, and with her family she'd been over for a few days in London before coming to Canterbury for the course, and she reckoned she'd walked about 24 kilometres in a few days. She certainly had no issues walking, and full recovery, and full intention to lose more of her weight, which was just inspiring. I can't thank her enough for coming over. And so I've got some stuff to do for them, get the notes out, do a follow-up webinar for them, still got other stuff to share with them, and make myself available for them individually if they wish to have a call with me and bring something to the surface that they may want to talk about and work with. So, just amazing. So I don't know when the next one is, because these courses are only going to now happen, public courses, if a charity is willing to take on the risk of using their venue, or they find a venue and they deal with all the processes. If they obviously push it to their own, as it were, members or clientele, and I will obviously let people know of courses through our database or on here. And I mean, a lot of people did get in touch with me saying that they would have come to Canterbury, but they were on holiday or they already had commitments, which is always the case. So I look forward to the next one, whenever it may be, and if you are involved in a charity, just get in touch. It's amazing how easy you can put it together, I'm not going to charge you anything other than obvious expenses. If you want me to come to Dublin or Aberdeen or something, then I expect you to pay my flight and accommodation. But other than that, I don't need anything. What's important is to see the transformation for people in the audience, and to let them begin to wonder about the potential of using the tools and techniques in their own lives. And there was a moment when, towards the end, we were disturbed by, with the doors open, it was really, really hot, and we were disturbed by a character of Canterbury. And I've heard them before, I'm not sure who he is, but he goes around screaming, and he's quite a clearly challenged human being, a kind of sorry soul, and for some reason he'd come towards the open door and was screaming loudly, and we're about to do a meditation, and it was certainly challenging. So I asked the audience to, in a moment, to take a big deep breath and project brilliant white light from the middle of the forehead to his forehead, wherever he was outside, to imagine that. And so I got 1, 2, 3, take a big deep breath, project the light, and he stopped screaming. What was interesting was that if you watch the video here on YouTube of Teresa interviewing me, who's a local Canterbury person, interviewing me about that course, she mentioned that she knows who this guy is and sees him regularly as she does her walkabout herself, exercise in the morning and the afternoon, walking through Canterbury. She sees him regularly, and she said he's always screaming, and he's never stopped screaming, but he stopped when we did that. Now, I'm not claiming anything. I hope no one else is claiming anything, because for me it's just yet another amazing coincidence. But you know what everybody got to see at the course? They got to see Jim's. If you've been before recently, you know what happens when you see something extraordinary on a screen, and that connection to source. It was really amazing to let them see it. I don't know if it went over their heads. The pulse goes over their head. It's interesting. But again, for me, after all these years, to witness it yet again, and then to see what happened when we just projected consciousness thoughts, was really, really encouraging. Anyway, so see where we go this week. I'll be in touch, and have a cracker. I intend to, even if all I'm doing is in the house, out of the way of the heat. Cheers now, bye bye, bye bye.